out of time here. You're getting close. How are you feeling about the team?
Like we're running out of time. That's all right. That's all right. You can get it.
I'm gonna talk to you.
Like you're running out of time?
Yeah, it comes so fast. From the 12th to now, it seems like we started yesterday.
Any surprises so far? Pleasant surprises or otherwise with your team?
No, I'm just surprised. It's changed so much because we used to start October 15th and you played December 1st. Or maybe if you were special, you got to play in some Thanksgiving tournament. And then the kids it seemed like the teams were older, you know, so those are two things. But it's fun, you know, it's one thing sitting and watching Jay Wright or Calipari or Turgeon or Tad Boyle or Bill Self coach. All of a sudden, we're coaching and going, wow.
You're really active in practices. Have you always been that way?
Active?
Yeah, I know. But some coaches are different, you know. So.
I mean, I'm trying to coach and teach. I would hope I'm hands-on, but I also hope I give responsibilities to people I'm fortunate enough to have with me, and you know, we got a great staff. But I've always trusted my assistants, and I hope I've given them the latitude to contribute, not worry about it. But one problem I always think I've had is you want to correct mistakes, and it's hard to let things pass, and all of a sudden I'm thinking of one thing and then I got 10 other things. So
how much Coach Jones was talking about coming over here and watching you, working with the kids and stuff like that. What is it about fundamentals that are so important to you, regardless of the level, in your eyes?
you know, I'm a fan of anything with a ball, you know, baseball, football, basketball, volleyball, golf. I mean, but I think every sport, whenever I hear all these coaches or managers, you know, talk about things, it's always the same. You know, I should have coined it "play the right way," because I really know I was the first one to start saying that over and over again. But it's all about teaching, you know, pro level, college level, high school. Games are pretty simple if you taught the fundamentals and you build on that. That's the way my coaches have always done it, and all the coaches I've watched, you know, because I admire coaching, you know, they all teach fundamentals, you know, from any level. The teams that make the least mistakes do the simple things that it takes to win generally are the most successful.
Early on in your career compared to later in your career, how much difference was there in how you dealt with players? I mean, when you started, was it difficult for you, and has it gotten easier over the years, and what's been the biggest difference?
I don't know what you mean by easier.
In terms of how you deal with a player.
No, I try to be real with them, and you know, kids want to learn on any level, and they know in 5 minutes whether you care about them or whether you're trying to make them better. I can look at my whole career. There's not many I haven't felt that, you know, didn't respond to coaching. You know, I think kids right now, you know, in a lot of instances haven't been coached because they're so talented, but they all want to learn on any level. They all want to be taught.
Have you ever had a squad where you've just had one senior, just London as your only senior? The team was so young.
You know, my first team at UCLA, 4 freshmen and 1 sophomore in the top 7. We we went to the final game.
Right.
Everybody said I don't play young guys. I don't know where that came from, but but this is a really young team, and then I'm a new coach. We have a new staff. It's all right. We're all right. Yeah. Okay. But I look around at the landscape now at college athletics. There's so many young teams. But these kids play so many more games than we might have played when we were growing up. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad, but I guess if you look at my career, I only had one team in the NBA that had a winning record that I took over. And most college coaches, when you go to a program, there's a reason why you got the job. So, but I don't care whether they're young or old. You have a responsibility to teach them and put them in a position that can be successful. And it's the only thing that really matters.
What was your thinking behind opening up practices for high school coaches and stuff? Was that kind of to build a
No, I've always done that. I've always done that. I want to help make the game better, and I wouldn't be where I am if it wouldn't been for the coaches that have coached me, and the players that have played for me, or the coaches that have coached with me. And I really wanted to come back. One of the main reasons, aside from seeing those, Bill and Jay and those people, John, those guys coach, I want to share the things that I was taught. Because, look at my background. My high school coach was great. Frank McGuire, Dean Smith, Mr. Iber, John McLennan, Alex Hannum, Pete Newell. I don't think anybody ever had a background like I had. And then when you consider the coaches that have coached with me, I don't want to slight anybody, but Pop and, Alvin Gentry, Mike Woodson, all my assistants became head coaches, and then the college guys. So I want to open up practice to show people what I was taught. And it doesn't hurt, because people in 5 minutes know if you care about the kids or whether you can coach or not. So I don't mind coaches coming and watching us.
You talk about teams that you've taken over that weren't winning teams when you started with them. How much do you enjoy that challenge of taking a team that maybe is a little bit away and turning them into a winner?
Oh, you got to understand, when you become the head coach of Kansas, UCLA, and you're at North Carolina like I was with Coach Smith, my first job. They're going to win. They have tradition, and kids all want to go there, and rightly so. They're special, but this is different. I can only imagine what John Thompson went through. I would hope there's no way anybody can be that successful, but my hope is that we can be successful. This is a huge challenge, but that's always been fun for me.
And this could be a very similar program.
Well,
Thompson.
That's it.
Similar type.
Well, there's a lot of similarities, except I hope the results are close, because he did it. I don't know, when you talk about what John did at UMass and what Stevens has done at Butler, and then you see what John did at Georgetown. There's some unique stories. Gonzaga, that'd be beyond expectations, but it's something to shoot for. And we got 3 unbelievable transfers. We got a bunch of kids that come every day wanting to learn, and I think we've been well received, recruiting. So,
is recruiting as fun as it used to be?
No, but I've met some wonderful people. That's been really neat. I've really met and had an opportunity to be around. And then I'm, going out recruiting, seeing other coaches that I had a relationship with or I've respected, being around them. It's been great, but I love this. I love being in my office and having the kids come around and being part of this community, going to a volleyball game or soccer game, but the other stuff, that's why Coach Smith isn't coaching anymore.
I wanted to ask you about a national trend of players transferring. We've had more than 400 in the past year.
Yeah.
How much of a difference is that compared to '88? And when you were at Kansas, and what do you make of it?
Well, it's instant gratification. Another thing, I thought about this, when you had freshman teams, every kid on the freshman team was going to be a star in play. You had 4 or 5 guys, and then when you got to the varsity, there were only 3 classes. Yeah. And then kids, when they were sophomores, they didn't expect to start right away. Now every kid thinks they're one and done. And no matter who you are. Tim has this thing that if you scored 15 points in an NCAA game, you think you're going to leave. I don't know if I want to go that far, but I think that's a big thing, is that kids expect to play right away, and they're not patient. And then there's been a lot of coaching changes. So when you have a coaching change, like for instance, we lost 4 kids, and my thing was, we're going in the Big East. I didn't want them to come here and sit. I don't think any kid should really go to school and be satisfied with sitting. So, and because we thought we might have to recruit at a different level. So I think that's had something to do with it. But it's not a good thing, and I think we're going to probably see more. I don't think we'll see less. And that's the funny thing. This APR with the 2-6, they would think, doing that you'd have less kids. Now that year, that's going to really challenge a lot of programs. I don't think it's worked the way the NCAA thought it would work. Because it's going to make it more difficult for kids to transfer, and it's going to put a lot of programs in jeopardy. But that's tough, because the expectations when you recruit a kid, they all think, man, I'm going to play right away, and I'm probably going to leave early. I think that's why we see so many of that, much.
And they tend to blame other people when it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know, but the guidance counselor, your coach, and parents were the ones we recruited when I was there. No, so I think a lot of people that tell kids where to go are the ones that maybe are unhappy.
Oh yeah.
So that makes the kid. But that is a challenge, and I just wish kids. I want them all to want to come and play and expect to play, but earn the minutes and respect the minutes you get, and just try to get better. Because coaches are smart. They're going to play the kids that give you the best chance to win, but also it's our job to develop these kids, and some might take longer than others, but I don't know what the answer to that is. Okay?